Yay, nay, Markle?
Nay, Markle.
Nay, Markle. Okay.
Nay, Markle.
Nay, Markle.
Alright, do you want me to do, you want to kick it off with the rapport shit? And then we can do the role play?
Sure. You want me to know?
No, I can do it.
Okay.
So kiddies, we're going to do the rapport again like we did last time, just a quick recap on it. And then we're going to role play. Kevin's going to give a scenario, Tara, with plenty of background for you. And then we're going to role play it. The intro, the walkthrough, you know, as best we can in this medium. And then obviously sitting down and trying to build rapport by giving you more stuff to go on. Is there anything else that you guys want to do, or how does that sound? Vicky?
Sounds good.
Sounds
Tara?
good to you?
That's good.
Tara Bananas?
Sure.
Man, nah,
Don't make her mad. Tara Barbera.
How about Tara Barbera?
I have a robust scenario for you, Tara. A lot of detail.
Really?
A lot of detail.
Get ready.
You're gonna feel like you're there.
Okay.
Get fired up.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, so rapport. So talk to me about rapport. What are the categories? And give me some examples.
Forward.
Alright, what's forward?
Family, occupation. I want to say religion, but it's definitely not religion, so it's
Renaissance.
Recreation.
Yep.
And I can't remember what the D is.
What did she say, Tara?
She said recreation, which is right. What's the D? Who remembers what the D is? Tara? Tara Bananas?
D.
Forward. Yeah. Family,
Oh,
occupation,
yeah.
recreation. What's the D
Dreams.
part?
I think it's dreams.
There you go, you got it.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Vicky's got it. Dreams.
Dumb.
All right. So forward, that's one category. What's another category?
Things about the house.
Okay. What would be examples? That's an easy one.
Maybe certain things that you see in the house besides, actual structural things. Pictures on the wall. Just different things that are personal in the house.
Mm-hmm. So the house kind of has two categories, right? There's the stuff, like you're saying, the pictures, the dolls or guitars on the wall or furniture or whatever. And then what else is the other part of that one with the house? The obvious one.
What they've done to it, just the actual physical characteristics of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the components, right? Or as an easy one, like if you've really run out of shit to talk about, like, how old's the roof?
Right.
How about the water heater? When was it replaced? How about the furnace? Right? You can just sort of, the windows, right? You can just, the basics.
Yeah. I usually start with that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like an easy one, very neutral. Right? So is the stuff in the house is very neutral, very easy. Oh, so you like to golf? Is that your putter?
That's your putter?
What else? So Ford, the house, which has the structure elements, the big elements of the house, and also the stuff inside the house. So Ford, the house. What other categories?
Along with the dreams, like where they plan to go after and all of that, like all the detail about that, why they're going there, how they're getting there, how they're moving their stuff, what stuff they're going to keep, what stuff they're going to get rid of, how they're going to decide which stuff to keep. I think this is a different category, but the finances for them to do a down payment or the security deposit, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And why do you care about the finances?
To kind of get them in like a reasonable space for how they're going to deal with their money. Like if they sell the house and they get no profit off of it, then where is their money going to come from? Basically?
Yep. Yeah, helping them think through it. Yeah, I mean, putting pressure on them, maybe, but really just helping them think through it and seeing how much they have thought through it. A lot of times if people just can't manage their own lives very well, that's kind of why they're in a situation where they're having, financial issues or whatever kind of issues they're having. It's helping them think through like what do they need to move, and how are they going to like just in a detailed way organize it? Are you going to rent in the meantime while you look for a house? Do you want to buy immediately? If you want to buy immediately, where's the money going to come from for the down payment? Have you talked to a lender for a loan? All that kind of stuff. So that's good. So that's like logistics, finances. So that's good. What else? Tara, what else?
I usually ask them questions I already know the answer to, like, how did you hear about us? Who else have you talked to? Other bankers, investors.
Yep.
Questions around that whole thing, especially if they've talked to other people, because I won't know the answers to those questions.
Yep. And another good, easy, neutral one up front in particular. How they find out about us, who they talk to. Yep. What else? That's kind of related to that.
If they've gotten other offers,
Mm-hmm.
if they've had other people come see the house, what the offers were, stuff like that. Basically, the competition
Yep.
that we're dealing.
Yep. And what are some ways you can ask that question in a way that won't make them defensive?
I would more in just like a curious way, like when they're talking about how they heard about us, or how they were contacted by us, like asking. I can't think of like a good example, but just like not being like, oh, what other offers do you have and how much are they for? But like, have you heard of anyone else who does this? There's a lot of companies, and then have you spoken with any of them?
So what's an easy way? Does anyone remember or have an idea? What's an easy way to ask that question to start getting a competition without a very like neutral way? So what you suggested is fine. What are other ways you can ask that?
Well, in the case that their notes indicate how much they want for the house, I ask questions around that number. How did you arrive at that number? To get them talking.
So that's good, right? Like how'd you come up with that number? What else? Questions to ask around competition, the competitive landscape. If they're talking to realtors, if they're talking to investors, what are some questions we can ask to start opening them up about that? Bueller.
Hello?
Well,
Did you lose connection?
They come to me when I'm in the meeting.
What's that?
I guess they come to me when I'm in the meeting, the question.
Yeah, but it's better just to know, ahead of time. That way you're not kind of winging it.
How do they come
I
to
can't
you?
think of it, but I think that we talked about it last week.
What's that?
I think that we talked about it last week, but I just can't remember.
Yeah. So okay. So some examples would be easy ways would be like. Are you getting tons of calls? Are you getting tons of letters for this house? Are you getting tons of calls? People calling you to try to buy the house? Are you getting tons of letters? People trying to buy the house? So just like kind of assuming they're getting a lot of contact on it, right? Like, oh, so you're probably getting tons of letters on this house, right? And be like, oh yeah, I get like from you, from a bunch of other people. Yeah. Oh, okay. And have you met with any of them, or am I like the first one? Right. So sort of casual, sort of conversational, kind of throwing it in. So just like assuming they're getting a lot of contact, saying, oh, so you're getting tons of letters, oh, so you're getting tons of calls, is an easy neutral way to open it up. Relative to how they're getting the price on the house, right? Like, if they do give you a price or you've talked about price, which maybe they will, maybe they won't, sometimes they won't, you can ask how they came up with the price. And sometimes they'll say, oh, I met with a realtor, or oh, I met with another investor. You can also ask, just ask if they've, how come they're selling to an investor? Oh, so how come you're trying to sell to an investor, you're not just listing it with an agent? Right, that also opens them up, like, oh, well, I talked to an agent, but like, it seemed like a lot of work, and okay, if you like met with so have you met with other investors as well, or am I like the first one? So all those sort of around the topic is a good way to start, like get into it. You don't want to ask directly, it's gonna make them defensive. Do you have any other ones that you?
I mean, that's basically how I would do it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So competition, how they found out about us. So we're getting through most of the categories. What are the other few ones? Oh, they found out about us, competition, logistics. What else? There's like a couple other ones. Or just other stuff that you think of.
Your personal information, sharing stories about yourself.
Yeah, you're cheating.
You're
What?
cheating.
You're cheating.
You're cheating.
I'm not cheating. I'm really not.
All right.
What are you
We
looking
just
at?
went over this. You like grilled just me and Terry last week.
What's in front of you?
What's in front of me?
Mr. Terry doesn't believe you.
It's just my email open.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and like other
Oh,
shit like
Right,
Etsy,
porn.
but-
and other
Right, porn.
Okay.
Porn.
Right.
All right. Okay, so that's good. Yep, sharing stuff about yourself, right? Proactively. Oh, is that your putter? My grandpa was a really good putter. You bought this putter in China.
Mm-hmm.
It was made of brass.
Is that your putter? One time I made a 40-foot putt and putt. Yep.
Oh, there you go. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And then money finance we talked about, right? So, what they're getting from the sale based on how much they owe, what they're going to do with the money, which Victoria kind of talked about. And then the other one was, there's a squeaking. The other one was,
It's like a
okay.
creep.
The other one was Tara, and you know about this one, right? Victoria kind of talked about it. It's a John Martinez special.
Oh,
Your boy.
yeah.
What?
Oh,
are
what
some-
is it?
Yeah. What are some John Martinez ones?
Oh,
What were you hoping I could do for you today?
I mean, he usually says, and I like this one. It's like this great house. I mean, why move at all? And
Yep.
then, like,
That's a good one. That's a good early one again as well to kind of get to it.
A lot of doors, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime you can go negative, like we talked about, right? So let's talk about that in a second too, like examples of going negative on some of these to ask questions and like kind of practice a little bit of that. What's another John Martinez one? It relates to not the present, but the something else.
But the future is picture perfect.
Right, the future perfect, whatever he calls it. Right, and Victoria kind of talked about that. So like, what is your desired end state? Right, like you're trying to make a change from where you are now, due probably to some kind of pain, often to some kind of pain or inconvenience at least.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to get to, and what does that look like? And what are some things you're trying to do when you ask about the future situation that might help in like kind of motivating them?
Well, you really get to know where they're at in their own mind. And it just helps you to ask additional questions that you can kind of zero in on that you wouldn't have thought to ask at all. Like maybe it has to do with a family situation or a work situation or something completely off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Having to do with, pets or something.
Mm-hmm. So how do people make decisions?
Say it again?
How do people make decisions? Yeah.
Oh, based on emotion.
Right, emotionally, right? So what are emotional things that you can sort of poke around at related to this future perfect?
Well, I know one thing that Martinez says is, so you want to move in the next 90 days. So 91 days from now, when you're waking up at your new place, what's going through your mind?
Yep, that'd be an example, right? And it may seem a little hokey, but as long as you have enough rapport established and it's the right person, that would work.
Yeah, I've never asked that one yet.
Yeah, you probably want to lead into it, lead into it with other stuff. So, like, how could you, kind of lead into getting to, that's like an emotional impact question? Or, how are you going to, basically feeling, right? Any, feeling related question? Well, we're trying to get to how are they going to be feeling in this new situation that they're going to get to, where they're going to be happier, right? Where things are going to be better for them. That emotional pull towards that future state that they want, right? Which is where the motivation can come in. So how could you What types of things can we start kind of asking to get towards a feeling type of questions?
Right, like let's say they just said something about some sort of a specific family situation. Ask more questions around. So, wow, that must be difficult for you. What's that like?
Yep.
Real open-ended stuff, because then they'll get to talking with you. If you've established enough rapport, they'll talk quite a bit.
Yeah, so that's about their pain, which is the other one, right? There's really only two things, right? One is pain, what's the other one? That drives all like human behavior, basically. Pain, and what's the other one? What's the opposite of pain? Pleasure.
Yeah, what's
Pleasure.
what's gonna make,
Yeah,
what makes
happiness,
you happy?
right?
Euphoria.
Thank you, Mr. Jody, for it. So, right, so it's pain and it's pleasure,
Yeah.
right? And so those things have like strong emotional like connotations, right?
Mhm.
And like that's what's probably driving their behavior and their decisions, and then they're justifying it rationally.
Right.
But like they feel that like they want to do this. They feel like this is what they want. Like it's a feeling. It's not like a rational thing, right? And so so the question you asked, right, about that must be hard or whatever, kind of digging into that's the other end of the spectrum, which is also important to do, right? Exploring kind of their pain, right, as like sort of masochistic or whatever, right, as that like might sound. Other ways on the pain side is just empathizing with them, right? Like they're like, you know, a lot of times it's like someone like passed away and maybe they've inherited the house. Those are ones that sometimes we'll get, which could be good ones. And maybe the person had a ton of shit in the house. And you can ask them, oh, like, did they have a lot of stuff? Oh yeah, they did. Wow, like how much stuff? Like how many trips, how many like loads of stuff did you have to take? How'd you get rid of all that? How long did it take you? Did you just like go through everything to see like what you wanted to keep, what you wanted to take? Wow, how long did that take? That must have been hard. Did you have anyone helping you? Do you have like brothers and sisters, or are there like heirs involved? And did they help out with that? Oh, they did? You did it by yourself? Wow. That must have been like a lot to deal with for one person. Just like empathetic stuff like that, right? To sort of just get them to like sort of explore and talk about the pain. Like that, right? That's another thing you should always be looking for. And then what about on the pleasure side, right? And it relates to the future. What types of things can we ask?
What's it gonna feel like when you're finally in the place that you're, you know, that again, the waking up thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would even go
You
ahead.
have to
Sir.
put them there.
Right, helping them visualize, like sort of having them visualize it, right, makes it more real in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
What other types of questions?
You know, what's that gonna do for you? How's that gonna change your life?
Yep, you got to be careful that you obviously have the rapport, but but yeah, if you have enough rapport and it's the right person, yes, that'd be a good one. What else?
Are you asking me or everybody?
Everybody.
Okay.
You.
Mainly you, but also everybody
What
else.
about just even something as simple as, thinking of Paco's here, is, you know, just think about how you're gonna feel once you don't have the burden of this huge mortgage and your debt and everything. You know, how's that gonna make you feel, you know, your little to nothing mortgage or whatever.
Yep. So as simple as, yeah, how are you going to feel when
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with the mortgage payment? Or like, you know,
Headache or whatever.
yeah, you got to be careful that, you're not like guiding the witness too much where they feel like you're, kind of, with it too obvious what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I think that's for the right person. That's a good question. Has it been hard for you with dealing with this mortgage? Like, has it been kind of like, and if they're in the right mind state, has it been stressful? Like, oh yeah, it's been stressful. We're like 3 months behind. Yeah, that must be hard. Are you getting like lots of letters and calls and stuff, like kind of asking for payment and like debt collectors and stuff like that. Yeah, geez, yeah, that's tough to deal with. I mean, that's a lot of pressure on someone to have to deal with all that. And then that could lead you into potentially, so like something like, I'm sure it's going to be a relief when that's not something you have to deal with anymore. Oh yeah, it's going to be like a huge relief. Yeah, what do you think? Like, what are you looking to do instead when you move to Albuquerque and you don't have to deal with all this anymore? Oh, I'm going to spend time with my grandkids. I'm going to play golf, do all that. But that's going to be nice, right? What kind of house do you think you're going to get? Oh, like on the golf course or somewhere like neighborhood, or what do you think? Close to your family? Oh yeah, how much family do you have there? Oh, you have 2 grandkids. Oh, what ages are they? Oh yeah, what do you guys do together for fun usually? Oh wow, that'll be nice when you're with your grandkids. Right, you can spend time with them, you don't have to deal with all this crap. Right, sort of helping to explore the future situation that they're going to be getting to, what they're going to be doing, who they're going to be doing it with, but using that in like sort of trying to get to an emotional place with them, with that. Right, not just like logistically, but like getting to like how they're going to feel when they're there. Yeah, so we should probably role play this more next time, the pain and pleasure ship. Do you have anything else, Mr. Turdy, that you?
No, not right now.
Okay. All right, so that's basically the categories of rapport. Negative questions. Why don't we talk about that real quick? Give me some examples of some questions we can ask from the negative in any of these categories or any other categories for that matter. Like, how can you ask a question but from a negative? So what would be an example? So, right, so like Tara said, right, oh, is this an awesome house? Why are you even selling it? I mean, it seems like you want to stay here. What are other types of questions where you can get negative?
Anybody? Anybody got a thought?
I was told they go.
How about, why don't you keep it and rent it? Why not do that? Nice crib.
Yeah, I mean, you can just rent it. Just rent it out.
Rent this baby out.
Yeah,
That's you could
probably a good
cash
rent.
flow. Cash flow.
Yeah.
I do ask that one a lot.
Well, you didn't say it now.
No, because I didn't think of it now, because this is like pressure cooker time.
Yeah, not really. Let's go. Give me another one.
He's gonna blame it on me again.
What are some negative
Anyone?
questions?
Can't
Vicky?
think. Nobody has one idea but one negative question. Like right now we're at 0. Right now we're at 0.
We're currently cresting at 0, sort of at a crisp 0 pace.
I can think of like 3 dozen. So
I'm like stuck on the one about why don't you not sell though.
okay, we'll move past that.
I'm trying.
Let us know when you're done. Anyone?
Andrew? Other Andrew?
Anyone? Wow.
Can we cheat?
This is a
Can you give me like a hint?
the Boswick
Like a
Brain
true
Trust.
hint?
Why would you not want to experience the Boswick difference?
Yeah.
Like, how about you just don't experience the difference? I mean, wouldn't that be nice to not experience it?
I mean, one of them is why don't you just list with a realtor, but
There you go.
Bingo!
How about that?
Yeah, that's good.
Where are we coming from?
Don't
that?
be shy.
Right. There's no stupid suggestions, only stupid people. Remember that.
Have courage in your convictions,
Right.
Victoria.
okay.
Right. Looks like you've done a lot of work to the house. It's really nice. You've invested a lot. Are you sure you want to move?
Yeah, are you going to be able to recoup your costs?
Are you gonna miss this area?
Thank you, Andrew.
Right, we're gonna miss this area.
You're
Right.
gonna miss the food.
But I mean, kind of like, you ask them a question where you're suggesting the opposite
Right.
of what
you
you want, right? So like, why not just list with an agent then, So that's the other one that I said early on, right? That I already gave you guys that I guess everybody forgot was like, why'd you even bother to call an investor? Why not just sell with an agent? Right? That's super kind of easy one up front, when you're talking about how they find out about us and why they responded to us. What else? And it could be related to anything, right?
Well, I know we talked about some when I had the guy that I think we talked about it last week, who wanted to rent his out and like didn't decide
Right.
he didn't. So
Right.
there's a lot of like negative questions in there, like, what if you don't get a tenant? You know, what if it takes 6 months to rent? What if you have to evict them?
That's the opposite.
Yeah, that's more guiding them, guiding them to the negative. We're more trying to take the negative position. So like in that bucket, like an example would be like, you probably have a lot of experience renting the house out, so I mean that probably would be a good option for you, I would think, right?
Mm.
Oh no, actually I've never done this before. Oh, you've never done it before. Ooh.
Then I'm sure you have a property manager who's going to help you.
There
Right,
you go.
right, there you go. Right, that'd be an example, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you kind of have a property manager in mind then who's going to help with the management, or?
You probably want to brag to your friends that you're a landlord.
Right, I mean, a stupid one would be, right, like you probably, you're probably cool with, the getting the call at 2 a.m. from the tenant that, like, broke the toilet. I assume that just kind of, that's something that you're cool to deal with.
Tara?
Yeah, that rarely happens.
What's another negative? So you're there because you want to either buy their house or list their house, right? So a negative question would be anything, like John said, that would be steering them in a direction other than those two things. So that opens up a
Could you do other ones like why don't you just refinance it?
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah.
good one.
Yeah, so like, have you thought about refinancing it instead of selling it? The values are up, maybe you could, take care of your issue and you could just still hang on to it. Oh no, I don't want to hang on to it because the maintenance is just too much for me and I'm getting old and I want a one-level place and it's just too much, right? And then you can start exploring the pain. That's the beauty of the negative questions. That's good. Yeah, what else?
You need to get off your phone.
Muffy, you're fired.
Sounds like a school.
I said the thing about living there.
What?
I said the thing about missing living there.
We already know
You already said that.
I know, I'm participating, so.
that. Yeah.
Well,
Which
you
I'll-
have a lot of space here. You've got a couple extra bedrooms. Why not, at least take on a roommate or two?
Great.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Terry?
Oh, no.
Mm.
Muffy.
Like, you could say, like, oh, what are you going to do with all this stuff? Or you're going to have to, like, get rid of it or something.
What?
No, because then you're guiding them toward, you're planting the doubt in their mind. We want to almost make it seem like there isn't doubt. Like, so you probably, right? So you probably, kind of have an idea already of how what stuff you're gonna take, what stuff you're gonna leave.
You probably, but at the end of the day, everybody hates moving.
That's what I was saying.
You have a
What
lot
if
of
you
stuff
just
in
say,
the house.
Yeah.
Maybe, is it really worth it for you to pick up, move, have a yard sale, all that?
You literally just took the words right out of my mouth.
What were you gonna say?
I was literally just trying to say, and you just said it.
That is a real coincidence.
Yeah, that seems like quite a coincidence.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
If they're gonna move out of the area, would you ask how they're gonna find a new job or?
No, because that's creating doubt.
Okay.
That's asking a question that then makes them have doubt.
Okay. So you would be would it be do you, will you stay in the same job field or something? It seems like you have a bunch of experience in it.
What does that have to do with going negative?
Because people can't find a job when they move. There's no point in moving.
Yeah, so the job one would be more who would be an example of a job one? It's probably gonna be hard, if you go to a new place, to find a new job and everything, might be easier just to stay here.
I've got one too.
Right, you're going the opposite, you're pushing them the opposite way of where you want them to go. That's the kind of idea of this. That then prompts them to say, oh, no, I don't want that, what you're suggesting. I don't want that. You're suggesting something that you know they probably don't want.
Okay, gotcha.
Right, is that,
Okay, I thought it won.
Alright.
You're in such a great location here, you know, you've got a lot of shopping around
Yeah.
you, Metro's right down the street, you know,
yeah, I mean, do you really want to give up all
the
that?
community type stuff.
Do you really want to give up all that?
No.
That you're so close to, you know? And go somewhere else? And there's so much around here. It's such a great area.
This is an area that's been appreciating like a mofo.
Right, so-
You don't want to miss out on that, right?
Right, so why are we asking, why is it powerful to ask questions in the negative? Why are we doing this exercise?
It's reverse psychology, basically.
It's reverse psychology.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I've
what
got
is...
another one too.
Yep, okay, go.
Related to stuff that needs fixed in the house. Well, gee, I see all of these nice new doorknobs that you replaced yourself. Nice brass. Why not, replace the doors too and do this drywall work? You seem pretty handy.
Great. Yep, that's a very good one.
So, but why are we doing it though? Like reverse psychology, but be more specific. What are we trying to
gain?
do?
What do we gain?
It
What we
pushes them in
gain
the direction
is,
you want them to go.
where they're
Right.
really at.
Right.
It makes them
Without them
realize
knowing
that
it.
they actually really want to leave. So it raises their motivation.
Right, and what was the first part of what you said there? It makes...
Them realize they want to leave.
And how is that different? So what's the other alternative? It makes them realize versus...
Being defensive.
Us telling them it's
Right,
not,
versus us telling them and
not
them...
the same thing.
Right, it's instead of us pushing and then resisting,
Yeah.
right?
Pull, don't push.
Right, we're letting them push themselves. We're asking questions where they push themselves. They tell you why they don't want to stay, why they need to move, why they can't fix the house up, why they can't rent the house out, right? Why they have to sell, right? As opposed to us asking questions where it's clear we're pushing them in that way.
Who's in the best position to articulate like the real and true reasons why they want to sell their house? You or
Only
the
them.
seller? Right. They're in the best position. They know. You don't know. I mean, you can guess, but they can tell you for real. So this is a way to try and get them to tell you sort of the actual reasons instead of your speculating, right? And then if they're telling you the reasons, they're sort of advocating for your points for you. They're doing the work for you.
Right. And why is it more powerful than just saying, well, why do you want to move? Or how come you want to move? Why can you sometimes get more going negative than just being direct? So why are you moving?
Well, especially if they're not being forthcoming, they're just going to be like, "Oh, I just don't like it here," or something like simple.
Yeah, some
And
kind of
not
brush off.
The real motivation as to why.
Right, like they know, oh, you're the salesperson, you're trying to get some information to
Right.
get an advantage on me in this scenario. So I'm going to not give that to you. I can see what you're doing.
It's
Right,
more
whereas-
disarming to go negative.
Exactly, right? It's disarming, right? So it's disarming to go negative, right? You get them to tell you in their own words. It's a pull versus a push. Yeah.
Put you more in control of the conversation too. That's
Yeah. So yeah, so think about this, and we're gonna do this again next week.
Starting with Tara.
Starting with Tara, moving to Vicky, Andrew. We're gonna get you all in there too, Andrew.
And there's no cheating, Victoria. We had to work through that with Tara for a couple weeks.
I looked at it before, but I thought we were supposed to be studying before.
Correct, you are. Miss
Okay,
Trudy is just
so then
being mean.
don't make me feel bad for studying.
Good study.
Don't make her feel bad.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Vicky.
He's
Just
lying.
do nothing next time.
All right, we're doing some role play.
Yeah, let's do some role play. So
Tara.
Andrew, what's on the chat though? Is someone? Is that, that's gonna.
Tara Barbera.
This Sarah saying I cannot hear
I have a
it.
scenario.
Oh, that was early on.
Okay.
Disregard.
I have a scenario for you,
A
Tara.
very rich scenario.
Okay, what
I'm
is
going to
it?
provide you the scenario. Then you're going to act as if you're meeting with me. I'm the seller. Okay. I've already given you this background or whatever. This is like background that you might have from like Andrew's notes or something. Okay.
All right.
You're going to parade into my house like you're walking onto a yacht. Extreme confidence. Okay, the scenario is I am the son of the homeowner. The homeowner is my mom. She's elderly. I want her to move to like an assisted care facility. She's been living in the house forever. She sort of knows that she needs to move, but she's a little bit resistant. She's going to be there, but just like sitting on the couch or in her chair, whatever. And you're actually going to be mostly dealing with me, the son. She needs to get some money out of the house to move into the assisted care place, blah, blah, blah. The house is in, grandma condition, but they renovated like one room. They renovated like one bathroom. They were trying to fix it up, sort of, and they did a little bit of renovations. They met with a real estate agent, and the real estate agent told them that the house as is worth $620, but the house as is actually worth $550. And
Okay.
my name is Julius.
Say that again.
My name's Julius.
Julius, the son's Julian.
Julius.
Julius.
With an S.
Julius with an S. Okay. And so the father owns the house.
Mother.
Oh, the mother owns the house. Okay. All right. So is she the only owner then?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. All right. And she's reluctant to go into an assisted living facility, but she needs the money to do it.
Yep. But you're dealing with Julius.
Is this an actual meeting you went on?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it, right? Because that's the whole thing, right? We're doing role play, right? We're giving you a real scenario, like what you'd walk into, right?
This is.
It's like a meeting you go to.
went
And so we
on-
want to
yeah.
practice, like a real meeting scenario. So you're going to be the agent, like you said. He's going to be Julius.
Yep. And Mama's there.
Oh, the mom's name? Okay.
Mama's there on.
What's the
yeah.
mom's name?
Mama.
Mama.
I call her Mama.
Okay. The mama's name is Mama.
And she's sitting in the recliner. She's just there, right? I'm the one interacting with you, right? She's just like sitting there. She's very old.
All right, so should you want to start from the knocking on the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. So you gave me a lot of detail here. So what did you say was renovated? The bathroom?
Yeah, there was one bathroom that was renovated. Everything else is in grandma condition. The house is clean, but it's outdated with the exception of the bathroom. I had the bathroom renovated. My original plan was to, fix up more stuff, but, I'm kind of hitting the pause button and taking inventory, see if I can't just sell it now, get what I want. I met with a real estate agent. That agent told me we should put it up as is for $620, but the actual as is value is around $550.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real scenario. All right, you're here. You've arrived.
Okay.
So
All
knock
right,
knock.
Hi, Tara. Hi, I'm Julius. Come on in.
Hi, Julius.
Thank you for coming.
All right. Where's the mom?
She's in the recliner.
She's chilling
Okay,
behind
right
me.
there in front of me.
Yeah.
She's in the living room, and you're the front
Yeah.
door.
All
And this is a-
So walk in the door.
This is a row house.
Go for the
It's a
details.
row house, 2-level row house. in
It's a
DC.
leather recliner.
House. Okay.
It's a leather recliner,
Brown.
brown leather recliner, tufted.
Yep.
Is John the mom?
Yeah, John's mama.
I'm Mama.
Walk up to her and say hello to her, of course.
Yep, this
Wait,
is
so
mama.
do it. So knock knock. Hi, I'm Julius.
Do a curtsy.
I'm Julius.
Right.
Come on in,
Well, hi,
Tara.
Julius.
How are you?
Thanks for having me over to
Good.
yourself today.
I figured.
You should do that on purpose.
Good, good.
Sarah, stop unplugging your internet cord,
All
Tara.
right, continue to introduce me to your mom.
We lost you, the connection.
You know what? The sound is not working right.
Yeah,
You
it's-
guys are sounding very. The sound.
All right,
is coming in.
let's pick it up again. All right, so welcome. Thanks for coming. This is Mama.
This is a shit fest.
All right, keep going.
Yes.
It would have been better if I was in the office.
All right, Victoria. All right, Terry, you get a pass for right now. Why don't we try with Victoria, and then maybe we'll come back to you, Tara. Victoria. Same scenario. I'm Mama. Julius, you're knocking on the door.
Can I pass?
No.
No. Well, who else are we gonna do that?
All right, now ask Terry. I don't know. Andrew.
Nope.
And
you're
who's
up.
gonna do the job?
That's
I
not
wanna ask
answering the
him.
job. Haven't you been studying? All right, go. Knock, 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 knock.
Okay. Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm here from Four Brothers Buy Houses. You're Julius, right?
That's me. I'm Julius. Come on in. Thanks for coming. Been waiting for you. This
And
is
then
Mama.
Is this Mama?
Mama.
Who are you?
Hi, Mama. I'm Victoria.
Mama,
I'm here
we're-
to take a look at your house.
Mama, we're gonna have Victoria just see the house, okay?
We want 620.
Okay, well, we'll take a look and see
Mama, stop
what numbers
it,
we can
Mama.
come up with together.
Mama, just
Okay.
leave her alone.
Okay.
Sorry about that. All
She
right.
didn't take her medicine this morning.
So walk around the house, blah blah blah, build rapport, come back. So is the son the decision maker?
Yeah. Well, I gave you the scenario.
Right, you gotta figure that
I
shit
know,
out.
but- okay, so then we'll
You gotta
take
ask
a
the
look at
questions and
Mama.
talk to Julius and Mama if need be to figure that out.
Yeah. So how come you're looking to sell, Mama?
No, Mama is not. You're talking to me, Julia.
Ask my son. I'm not involved. I'm not involved in all this. Ask my son.
Mama is watching like daytime TV in the living
Di-
room. She's not in it to win it. She's like, you know.
She's like 90 years old.
Yeah.
She barely knows
alright,
what's happening.
Julius.
With dementia.
How come you're looking to sell?
Well, I want to get Mama in a home. You know, she's been in this house for 40 some years, and I've been trying to get her to move, but you know, she's resistant. But she told me over the weekend that I just do what I got to do, and so she changes her mind. But I'm going with that right now. I really need to get her out of here. We need to get some money to get her into this next place that we found for her. So that's where we are.
I gotcha. I understand. Where's the new place that
Baltimore.
you're gonna go to?
Baltimore.
Baltimore?
Yeah.
Is that where you live?
Yep.
Okay. So what sort of things have you done with the house? Like, have you replaced the HVAC lately, or the hot water heater? What's the HVAC sort of stuff?
I don't know the age of the HVAC. I mean, it's, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years. It works well. Hot water heater was replaced about 8 years ago. The roof is 3 years old, so it's really good. We remodeled the bathroom upstairs. We were trying to do some work to the house. So, the components it's a great house. There's things that need to be updated, but it's, as you can see, it's a really good house, really good neighborhood. So we're trying to see what we can get for it now, for her.
Right.
I need to get the most for her, because she's going to need that money.
And I know you said that you met with a realtor, right? They came over.
I told Andrew I met with a real estate agent who told me that he wanted to put it up on the market for $620, which
Okay.
so I'm just trying to kind of figure out what it's worth and figure out the best move.
Did he tell you how he came to 620?
Well, he was looking at. He told me he looked at some other houses that had been selling. Yeah, he sold a couple houses in this neighborhood, so he's very familiar with it.
Gotcha. Yeah, we do a lot of work in this neighborhood and the ones surrounding it.
You do?
Yeah. We did one down on whatever 2 streets over is. I would know the name of it. I can't remember where this house was.
So what do you do?
What sort of number are you looking for? I know you said that the realtor thought it was worth $650. I'm not sure. We can go through
The realtor thought it was $620.
Yeah, sorry, $620.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what it's worth. Can you just give me a sense of what it is that you do?
Oh yeah, sure. So we buy houses normally a little bit more distressed than yours. Yours is obviously in great condition, and we renovate the whole thing and then we sort of resell it. So we're trying to add to the communities and help people who are sort of in situations like yours or in financial situations where a faster sale is really helpful for them. So that's basically what we do. What number are you sort of looking for?
Well, like I said, I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you
What do you think it's worth? What do you
I
think
think
the
it's
house is
worth-
worth?
On the market, somewhere between maybe 530 and 565, somewhere around there. That's
Wow.
kind of a big range because
Yeah, that doesn't
because
sound. That
I'm
doesn't
not
sound as
super familiar
good.
with the house yet. And I looked at some basic comparables before coming over, but I would do a lot more if that's if that's what the way that you want it to go to help you with that. But
Well,
we can
what?
put them together.
Too
I would
low.
look at them
Too low.
together.
Too low.
What?
No, too low.
Yeah, I mean that we already have somebody that wants to sell it at 620. I don't.
So I understand that that's what he says he wants to sell it at, but I'm worried that if he did, it would just sit on the market like for months, and that
Well, he
basically-
was really confident, and you can see that it's in great shape, and the hardwood floors have been refinished. Like,
Do you wanna pause?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, shouldn't we? I assume we should be. They should be going through the script and stuff too, right? Like sort of, remember the whole point of the script, right? Is like, right? We did the walkthrough, and then we sat down at the kitchen table, and then you start talking about
Right.
numbers immediately. What about like all the other shit we're supposed to do?
right. Yes. Okay.
So typically two options, right? When you're selling a house, Mr. Seller, right? We've got the going on the market, and you got right? And here's the pros, and
Okay.
here's the cons, Mr. Seller, right? And we typically do it, right? And you're establishing expertise, right? You're able to ask questions, build rapport. Now we're just talking about numbers, way
Because that's what
prematurely.
we were kind of doing for a few weeks with the difficult seller thing. I thought that's what this was.
We're doing a role play of a meeting
Okay.
and how to have that meeting be as effective as possible. And after a walkthrough, when a seller says, I want 620, you don't start talking about numbers. You go through the shit you're supposed to go through because there's a reason why it's done that way. So that's what we're trying to do, is like do a meeting.
Gotcha.
so like somebody that comes in and says 620 and is confident, blah blah blah, is gonna versus somebody that comes in and says 535, 565, but I would do more research if we went that way. I mean, that's not gonna really be that persuasive, right? Like, that's not engendering much confidence. Like, I did some research, but I would do more, versus somebody who came in and was like confident, 620, I think I can get it for you. Let's do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and just other little things too, like look for opportunities to ask more questions, right? Oh, the realtor told me it was worth 620. Oh, what'd you think about that? You think it was realistic? Is that what you wanted? Was that more than you wanted? Less than you wanted? What'd you think about that price? Right? Like, see what his thoughts are on the price. Oh, I thought that was like high. I didn't think I'd get that much. Or, oh, I actually thought it was worth 700. Would that change your approach potentially if you had that information?
Yeah.
Right? Other little questions to ask, right, is like, oh, Baltimore. Oh, cool. So is your mom going to go live with you then in Baltimore, or she's going to assisted living?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look for opportunities to sort of ask questions and learn about them. It builds rapport. It also gives you ammunition for your meeting. So always look for questions like that to expand on their answers, as opposed to more of like, oh, okay, because that seems to be, it could be the role play, but that's more the default, at least you've been giving us, in the role plays, is okay, ask a question, okay, and then the next question, okay, right? But it's like, to do the follow-up questions, to have them expand it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I mean, this is like a situation that everybody in here should be able to like do in their sleep. I mean, I can't tell you how many meetings I've been on where somebody has already met with a real estate agent,
Right.
and they gave them a number that was probably kind of on the favorable side. I mean, it happens all the time.
Right.
So this is like standard scenario. We shouldn't be like, afraid of this or fumbling or like this is not like a foreign thing. This happens all the time.
Yeah. All right, so we got 6 minutes left. What do you want to do for the next 6?
So like I think we need to like talk through this. I mean, we haven't really we didn't really, like, Tara took a pass, Victoria, we're talking about it. Let's go through it again. Like, somebody want to do it with me? Like, we need to kind of like work through this.
Yeah, why don't we want to have you be the
Sure.
agent, and then why don't either Tara or Victoria, one of you two, be the seller. The same exact scenario. Same exact scenario, just reverse. And then we'll take 5 or 10 minutes.
Who wants to do it?
I'll be the seller.
All right. Knock knock.
Oh, hello.
Hi, I'm Kevin. Are you Julius?
Yes.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure. Come on in.
Thank you. It smells great in here.
Oh yeah, Mama's making one of her favorite dishes.
Okay, so how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. And this is Mama?
Yes, this is Mama.
Okay, what can I call her Mama too?
Yeah, you can call her Mama.
Okay, hi Mama. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. Hi. Okay. So normally, normally I'd just do a quick walkthrough, ideally with you, Julius, and you can just point anything out that you think is, anything that you've done to the house recently or any issues that you're aware of. Is that okay? Can we do that together?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. So we'll start here. It's a 2-floor row house. We walk through. Oh, you redid the bathroom on the 2nd floor. Wonderful. I really like the tile. Did you pick this out? Who designed? Oh, Mama did. Got a keen eye for tile. Okay. Why did you guys do that?
What do you think we can get for the house?
Well, I haven't even seen the whole house yet, but so I wanted to finish, seeing it, if that's okay, and then we can sit down and kind of talk. I'll give you all my thoughts after we do the walkthrough, and as to what I think the house is worth on the market, different scenarios. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So why did you redo the bathroom if you're thinking about selling?
Well, we had to make this bathroom, that's Mama's bathroom, we had to make this bathroom a little more user-friendly for her.
Oh, well, you guys did a nice job. And so you've gone ahead and done that. You've done a good job. You've made it better for her. Why are you thinking of selling, I guess?
Well, we've talked about it. It's time for Mama to go in assisted living.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. I just moved my grandmother into assisted living. That was a real nightmare, I can tell you. All right. So how does she feel about that?
She's resisting it, but kind of has accepted that it's the best thing.
Yeah, I know, it's difficult. So we finish walking through, we go through the basement, blah, 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 sit down at the table. Mama's watching Jerry Springer. All right, I'm sitting with Julius.
Pick midget on Jerry Springer.
Yeah, midget fight. And like I said, so listen, Julius, well, first of all, thanks again for having me and walking me through the house. I really enjoyed it. I know I was talking to Andrew, my assistant, who I believe you spoke with on the phone to schedule this. He told me that you had already met with a real estate agent who gave you, I think, a number of 620 that they thought was a number that would work for putting it on the market. Is that true? Is that?
Uh-huh.
No. Okay. Now, and why didn't you just go ahead and do that? Because that's, first of all, I think that's higher than what I think it is. But if that person is like gung ho about it, that's a really, really good price, I think, for the house. Why didn't you just move forward with that?
Well, because that was just the first opinion. I would like other opinions.
Oh.
See what they really are, so we can make a good decision.
Got it. Okay. And what did you think of the 620 number that he provided to you? I mean, did you think that was about right, or high, or low?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really had time to look at, numbers on my own, so.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and so, yeah, so like I said, I think, 620 may be a touch, high for what I've seen, but I'm always curious, to hear what other people think. So I assume that he came with and showed you different houses that have sold for around 620, or how did he arrive at that number?
Yeah, he said it was based on comparables.
And did you see it? Did you see what the comparables were? Did you walk through those?
Briefly.
Okay. Well, let me just show you some comparables here, because I took the time to look at what houses are going for, because pricing, obviously, as you know, is just is so critical. So I want to show you a couple of houses that I saw. 2 of them are on this street, right? Blah blah blah. This one here went for $524, right? And it's in a pretty similar condition. Flipping through the photos, blah 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 blah. So I think, I'm sure this guy is experienced and done a lot in this neighborhood, and is a great agent. But I tend to think that sometimes the agents will kind of give maybe aspirational numbers a little bit to kind of get sellers excited. I think it's important to really look at the comps carefully, so you don't end up making a mistake when it does go on the market and it's overpriced, because that's kind of the worst outcome, right? So what do you know this house here that we're looking at?
Do I know this house? This is my mother's house.
No, the house that I'm showing you the comparable for.
The comp that he's showing you.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Okay, cool.
They're
So,
a long-time neighbor.
now what about, let me ask you this. So, what do you need to get out of the house for Mama to get her out and comfortable in the assisted living care? Is there like a cost to get in? Like, what are the monies that you really need for her to get out of this house?
Well, we really need to get out of it. Walking away from this property, $550.
$550 net. Okay, and what's owed on it again?
$270.
Good luck. Okay, so I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, I think pause.
Okay.
Yeah. So what
I'm
did you
just
guys?
guessing, 'cause I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, that shit doesn't matter, right? We're just seeing how to execute a meeting, right? So what did you guys notice? Like, didn't like, had questions about?
He really asked like a lot of questions, like the ones about like, I mean, you guys mentioned it about asking like the pricing, if you felt that was high or low or what,
Mm-hmm.
and then asking about the bathroom renovation. I normally don't think to ask those things when we do a role play, because I'm not good at imagining going through the house with someone if I'm not actually doing it. But stuff like that I would normally ask in person.
Well, we'll go better as you practice, just like anything with role plays, because we'll keep doing them, so that's fine. Who controlled the meeting?
Kevin.
Okay. Is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, 100% of the time.
Right. And how did he control it? What did he do to try to control it? What things did he do or say to control it?
He was engaging and trying to build rapport.
Sure. He's engaging, trying to build rapport. What else?
Continuing to ask questions that required more than a one-word answer.
Yep. Open-ended questions. What else?
He laid out the plan of how the meeting's gonna go.
Right. He set like a brief agenda up front, right? Just real simple, right? What to expect. We're gonna walk the house, right? We even kind of forgot to do that in the role play, right? I think it's maybe the role play thing is throw everybody off or whatever. So, but that's what so just do the things you're supposed to do, next time we do this, right? So set the agenda, right? We're gonna walk the house. Then we're gonna sit down, show you some comps. What else did he do to control it?
Negative questions.
Huh?
Negative questions.
Right. He went negative. What was some negative things he said or asked? Remember?
How come you renovated the bathroom if you're just gonna sell it?
Yep.
Good. Yep. That's one. There's another one too. At least one more that I can think of.
Well, he talked about how moving, what Mama wanted, if she wanted to go into the nursing home, and then how hard it was for him to put his grandma in. That was kind of a negative.
Nah. This is more just a probing kind of question, I would say. Small thing, but it was still a good question, though. I'm sort of delving into how her feelings are about this, more of the situation. So that's good. So what did he say when they said I got an offer for this agent said $620? What did he say?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So say it.
So that's what he said at first when Julius said that, you know, the agent offered him 620. Kevin says, wow, that, I mean, sounds really good. Why didn't you go with that?
Right. Sounds awesome. You should do that. He can keep control of the meeting, right? Put him on his back foot. Not that we're trying to do that, right? But that puts the pressure back on him. Oh, I thought you were here to like sell me on why I should take your offer. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I could do it, but I mean, I didn't really like the agent that much. You know, he didn't really sell that many houses in the neighborhood. It seemed like kind of a high price. I know the agents try to do that to, right? You get all that shit by asking the negative question, right? What else? So what was another like pivotal point in the meeting that helped with control and just helped with the flow?
The comparables, the one that I think you said sold for $425, that was very similar.
Yes.
Sorry.
Good morning. Yeah. What else? Yep. That's definitely one. What else?
When I said, okay, so what would you offer for this place? He's like, well, I'm not done looking at, when I'm finished looking at the house, we can talk about it.
Right. That was super pivotal.
And how did that end? It ended with me saying what?
Is
A
that
question.
okay?
Is that okay? Right?
Yeah.
So I make you sit, like, kind of agree to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You alpha did.
Yeah, because it's like, it's totally reasonable.
Right.
Like, I haven't even seen the rest of the house yet. So,
Right, and that should be like so rote at this point, guys. If it's not, you got to be practicing this because a lot of times people are going to press you right up front. So there's no reason to fumble on it, right? When someone's like, "Well, what's your offer?" You're like, "Oh, well, you know, I can do a little more research and then you can talk to Lloyd." Like, there's just no reason for it, right? There's the scripting there, and just practice it. It should be like second nature to you. If it's not, you got to get it there. All right, super pivotal, right? He keeps control of the meeting that way. He says what's coming next and why, and he gets agreement, which is a nice touch as well, right? By asking if that's okay. So I have to go, but if there's anything else you want to add? But so next time, negative questions, we'll start with that, and then we're going to do this same thing.
another scenario.
Yeah, another scenario, and then everybody's going to do it. We're going to spend most of the time on role plays, like from here on out, basically, like doing the meetings, which is because that's like what you're doing is like the meetings. So.
And every meeting is going to be basically the exact details from one of my meetings. So it's, you know that it's a meeting that you could have ended up going on, right? Okay. Excellent.
All right.